What's up guys, TopTierYugioh here. Today we have a Zoodiac Magician deck profile. And so we already looked at the pure Pendulum Magician deck, but that deck has a couple of problems such as not really being able to do anything if you don't open up Skullcrobat Joker or Wisdom Eye, and also just having a lot of cards that are very good in a complex game state, but don't really do anything on their own. And so what the Zoodiacs do is they first of all offer you cards that are good in a simplified game state. So just drawing a single rat, a single zoo monster, a single barrage is going to open up a lot of your plays. But the second thing that it does is that it offers other ways for you to destroy your own magician cards, thus triggering their pendulum effects and your star pendulum graph, so it can really extend a lot of your plays as well. So let's go ahead and get into the profile, and you're going to notice a lot of similarities with the pure build. So we're going to start off with what's different. And so the major differences are obviously the fact that we play 2 Zoodiac Rapiers, 1 Ram, and 1 Whiptail. And so we're really playing a very minimalistic Zoodiac engine. You don't want to draw too many of them. This isn't a Zoodiac deck. However, we're playing, I think, just enough to get full utility out of them. And so I wanted to play Ram just so you have a really good first turn play. If you have like no pendulum cards, you can still end on like Trident rank 4. You can end on Trident Emerald and still be able to do something. And then the Whiptail, of course, so you do have outs to certain cards, as well as giving yourself a second Zoodiac play after your initial Rat play. Then of course we have the trifecta, 3 Skullcrobat Joker, 3 Wisdom Eye, and 3 Astrographs. These are definitely necessary in every single Magician deck and Magician variant. They start all of your combos and also extend them as well. And if you are interested in Magician combos, I have posted a couple of combo videos on the channel. I'm going to put a link to those in the top right corner of the screen. Feel free to check those out if you get the chance. Next we have 3 Double Iris Magicians, 2 Purple Poison, 2 Black Fang, 2 Harmonizing Magician, 1 White Wing Magician, and 1 Oafdragon. These are all, I think, pretty standard. I don't think there's really any ifs, ands, or buts about these ratios. The only thing that's really arguable is maybe going up to a 3rd Harmonizing Magician, because the Pendulum effect is actually very useful late game, but of course that monster effect is insane in that it gives you pretty much an extra rank 4, extra synchro monster. Very, very powerful. Another difference in this deck is that we play PERFORMAPALKING King Bear. King Bear is really good because it's searchable off of Broad Bull as a Beast Warrior, but the Pendulum effect is actually pretty decent as well. And that's once per turn during the end phase. If this card was activated this turn, you can destroy it and then add a level 7 or higher monster to your hand that is either face up in your extra deck or in your graveyard. And so pretty much if you have an Astrograph in your face up extra deck, you can add it back to your hand, and that has come up for me once or twice. And the monster effect isn't bad either. I mean, if your opponent has like a Mirror Force, you can sort of laugh at them when you attack them directly with King Bear, but King Bear is a really good card. The main thing is just that it's searchable off of Broad Bull, because it comes up so often that you just end up with like a Zoo monster and Wisdom Eye, and you need to trigger the Wisdom Eye and you don't have any other magicians. That comes up so often, and King Bear is a searchable card that works with Wisdom Eye, so it's perfect. Next for the hand traps, we only play 3 Ghost Ogres and 1 Max C. These are the best hand traps in my opinion, and I didn't want to have too many because you need a lot of combo pieces in this deck. You don't want too many non-combo cards, but these are all very good to have. For the spells, we have 1 Upstart for consistency, 1 Zoodiac Barrage for extending our plays and starting them as well. And like I said before, it can destroy your magician cards and trigger their effects and your pendulum graph, so Barrage has a lot of synergy. 2 Duelist Alliance for searching your Double Iris Magician or your pendulum graphs, 1 Star Pendulum Graph, and 1 Pendulum Call. For the traps, we have 2 Dimensional Barriers and 1 Time Pendulum Graph. So the same trap lineup as before. For the extra deck, we have 1 Supreme King Zark. Definitely one of the win conditions of the deck. It's not very difficult to summon, but once you summon it, it's game. 1 Ignister, 1 Stardust Dragon, and 1 Cyframe Lord Omega. This is one change I had also made, is including Stardust Dragon over Beals. Stardust is good because it protects your board, and if any of you guys have played Zoodiacs, then you know how hard board wipes are to play through. Even just playing with Magicians, board wipes suck. So Stardust is actually a pretty good choice. Beals is another option because it can out Masterpiece. It's just big, but Stardust is still a very strong choice as well. For the Xyz monsters, we have 2 Star Time Magicians. He's our guy. He searches all of your other magician cards. He's definitely necessary at 2. I was playing 1 for a while, but it just really kept coming up a lot where I needed the second one. And of course you can bring it back with Black Fang and then Tiger Mortar material under it, but that takes a lot more work than just summoning a second one. Then we have 1 Tornado Dragon. It's both defense and an extender. You can destroy your own cards to trigger them, but you can also stop your opponent's barrages, diagrams, their scales, etc. Very good card. 1 DAIGUSTO Emerald, and then the rest are just Zoodiac monsters. So this is again a very minimalistic Zoodiac Xyz lineup. Only 1 Borbo, 1 Hammer Kong, 1 Tiger Mortar, 1 Shakanine, 1 Broad Bull, and 2 Tridents. The second Shotgun and the second Broad Bull do come up sometimes, but not enough to be worth the space in my opinion. Like, most of the time you're going to be fine without them, but when you're really grinding, the second Shotgun is good for bringing back Tridents and then putting material under them. Sometimes you need to search with Broad Bull again. Like, they do come up, but there's not enough space to include everything. And so if you have any suggestions in order to fit those in, I'm definitely open to anything like that. Let me know what you think about this extra deck, because Shotgun and Broad Bull come up more. For the side deck, we have 2 Flying Seas for Zoodiacs, 2 Ghost Ash for pretty much just random decks like Pure True Dracos or anything like that. I feel like Ghost Ash is in a really weird position right now to where it's awful against Zoodiac, and Zoodiacs are like 90% of the meta, but it's really good against everything else. Like, if you're playing against Pure True Dracos, this card is great. If you play against Chain Burn or something like that, fantastic. I played against Exodia earlier, and I opened double Ash, and he just couldn't play the game. Like, Ash is so good against rogue decks. 2 Ghost Reaper Winter and Cherries. This is something I sort of want to test in the mirror match, like the Zoo mirror match. It's not really a mirror match, but against Zoodiacs, I do want to test Winter Cherries, and it's been decent so far. Like, not having to play through Tridents is really big in that matchup, and so yeah, I like it. It's okay. Next, we have 2 Kumungus, the Sticky String Kaiju, the Sticky Icky himself, and definitely want to shout out one of the people who commented on the last Magician deck profile, because they suggested this over Gameciel, because you can Pendulum Summon this and make rank 7s with Astrograph. I don't play any rank 7s in this build, but if I did, that would be awesome. But just in general, being able to Pendulum Summon it for extra damage probably will come up. And so shoutouts to him. Then for the sided spell cards, there is 1 Raigeki, 3 Cosmic Cyclones, because you do not want to lose to Anti-Spell. I'm thinking about playing more Anti-Spell outs actually, but your Zoodiac cards sort of double as Anti-Spell outs because you can just make Trident. But Anti-Spell is really tough to play around, so that's definitely an option. And the final cards in the side deck are 1 Dimensional Barrier to finish out the playset, 1 Solemn Strike, and then 1 Solemn Scolding. And similar to the last build, I really like having 1 Scolding and then like the rest other Solemn cards, because you don't want multiple copies of Scolding because you can't use either of them in that case. And so you also don't want double strike, because like Strike Scolding is better than double strike, and it's also better than double Scolding, if you see what I mean. But it's just a really good lineup, I think. I'm actually really enjoying that right now. But nonetheless, this has been my Magician Zoodiac deck profile. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, again, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to reply to them as soon as possible. Again, I do have a lot of combos for this deck as well. Links to those will be in the top right corner of the screen, as well as in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Remember that time, those cerulean tides set fire